Hi, I'm Joey.
I'm Nick.
And I'll be there, man.
Hi, welcome to episode number 26 of Pwn.
I thought it was 28.
It's 26 because Joey was on for 25 because it's a special.
We can't have every episode be special, mate. If every episode's super, then no episodes are super.
Do you see what I have to deal
He's
with?
not wrong, Nick.
I guess.
Nick, get your shit together.
I'm trying, Wade. Welcome to episode Welcome to episode number 26 of Pwn. I don't know if you could tell, but this is not Ari.
What?
This is Joey. He also talks about movies. You may be wondering, why is Joey here and not Ari? So Wes, do you want to... We had this topic in mind for a Pwn, the one we're doing today, and we can only do that with Joey. And I said, Ari, is it fine
Ari
if...
doesn't watch movies.
I said, yeah, exactly. Ari, is it fine if Joey takes your spot for one episode? And he said yes, but my concession is you have to change the Pwn logo because I don't like it. So that's why we changed the logo. That's why we have the Joey. So now we can actually start the video. Right, what are we going to be talking about today?
Keep in mind, one slip up and the trap door opens up.
Today, we're talking about teen movies.
We're going to be talking about teen movies. Last time we talked about gangster movies. We did a marathon. We watched quite a few movies for our gangster marathon. And then we did a different one, which is just teen movies. We watched 4 to be exact, and we're going to be talking
entire movies.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about those today. Joey, would you like to talk about a movie?
Okay, spin the wheel, flip a coin, roll 3 dice.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, Dazed and Confused.
All right.
That was random.
Tell us about Dazed and Confused.
Okay.
Well, it's a song by
Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin.
Came out on their first album,
Mm-hmm.
1970. 1960
Pwn,
something.
we don't talk about music. What did I do?
Probably
Joey,
had something to do with it.
You quite like this movie.
It is my favorite movie. So Dazed and Confused is a film that came out in 1993, directed by Richard Linklater.
It doesn't have the song Dazed and Confused in it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Did you know it cost the production team $100,000?
Wow, did I know?
Which was like a fourth
No
of their
one on
budget.
this channel knows how to do a summary of a movie.
It
Wes
came
is
out
like,
in
oh, they play tic-tac-toe. Oh, did you know about this song? Ari sits there like, oh, there's a car and it goes vroom. No one.
Did you know that the freshman that's supposed to be a Little League pitcher didn't know how to throw a baseball, so they had to get a stand-in for him?
They had a stunt double to throw the baseball.
So it's set on the last day of school.
On the planet Zorgon, where?
Or Earth.
What are you, Wesley?
in 1976, which means the good music was coming out.
200
around that
years
time.
after the revolution.
Go ahead.
Okay.
200th anniversary of the Americas.
Right, so then in this Civil War reenactment, the Germans can't see. They shoot, but they kill everyone indiscriminately.
That was my favorite part of Dazed and Confused.
So then they travel back in time to the Revolutionary War. They go up to Crispus Attucks, and instead of throwing a rock at him,
They throw a bomb.
They throw a bomb. The bomb creates a time vortex that creates a black hole. Crispus Attucks is sent into the far, far future where the world is run.
Joey.
It's a prequel to the Cli-Fi classic, The Day
Do you
After
need
Tomorrow.
to take a moment, Wesley, to
the game.
I said,
the
oh, let's
musical.
try and get a Pwn done today, and everyone was like, nah, probably not. Joey says, oh, let's do it anyway. Wes says, what? I'm at home. Give me a second, I'll be there. I'll be there, man.
I'll be there, man.
Be there,
And then he
man.
shows up and sits there talking about, like, the Boston Massacre for some reason.
And now,
history
for the open
theories.
letter. Ooh. Dear Richard Linklater, stop making movies that have no plot.
And that segues into the story of Dazed and Confused.
Song.
So it starts off with a super cool shot of a car going through a parking lot and Sweet Emotion playing over, like all the kids getting ready for school after lunch.
Okay, what's the
and
next
all
shot?
that.
The next shot?
And then it goes to some guy in a woodworking class making a paddle.
Ooh, yeah.
And he blows it off and
Okay.
pretends to
Okay.
hit people with it.
Shot number 3.
And then after that, there's like this other dude, and I would assumes to be his girlfriend, walking. the middle schoolers all get paddled. All the middle school boys get paddled, and all the middle school girls,
They're being hazed.
yeah, hazed. Hazed
One might
and
say.
confused.
They're being
Confusing.
hazed and abused.
Okay, so basically,
Why didn't you know it?
Anyway,
two of the soon-to-be freshmen are picked up by some pretty cool seniors and taken out that night, and wacky hijinks ensue.
It
The
all
whole
happens
plot-
on one
Let me
night.
speak!
It happens
Let me
one
speak!
night.
The whole it all happens on one night.
and one morning.
The whole plot of the story is that there is no plot. It is just an insight to the lives of teenagers in this era, and it gives a very good commentary about what life was like, which was basically to just have fun and live your life with no boundaries and not let the man tell you what to do, Mom.
Your
That's all I
mom's a
have to say.
man.
I'm
Your
gonna
mom's
salvage
a
this
man.
somehow. Who's in Dazed and Confused?
Richard Linklater.
No.
Jack
Matthew
Black?
McConaughey is in there. Ben Affleck.
Cough.
Talk about Matthew
Let's cough,
McConaughey.
let's cough
Matthew
one out for Renee.
McConaughey.
Cough one out for Renee. See you later in Bridget Jones' Diary.
See, the worst part is you know about movies and you're acknowledging the fact you know about them. You just refuse to talk about them.
Let me just say, this movie has almost single-handedly gotten me into the genre of classic rock music. It's
Wow.
also the best movie ever made.
Talk about that.
Shut up!
Fast
Welcome-
Times at Ridgemont High has Sean Bean. Once
Yeah,
upon a
shut
okay,
up.
okay.
Let's talk about that
Okay.
movie that he's in.
King.
Once upon a time, Joey was in stats class, and he had a
The
crush
Last
on a
King of
girl.
Scotland.
And
It's not true.
he told the girl that his favorite movie is Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and then she went home and watched it and saw the numerous sex and somewhat rapey scenes in the
Somewhat.
movie.
And then what happened?
seeing
What
other
happened
women.
after she watched Dazed and Confused? I was like, "How'd you like it?" And she thought Fast Times at Ridgemont High was better, which is incorrect because Dazed and Confused is the best movie of all time.
It's just the wrong answer.
Yeah.
Like,
While he talks about that, I want to talk about a movie directed that many people have seen.
You just
I'm
skip
gonna talk-
Fast Times.
yeah, we're not.
Okay, well then talk because I don't
This
want
is
this.
Wesley's
this is
movie.
Gonna,
I just
okay,
talked
then you
about
Oh,
talk
this is
about
my
it.
movie?
Confused.
What did you like better? Did you like Fast Times or Ferris Bueller better? You didn't like
Ferris
Fast Times.
Bueller better.
Why are you making him talk about Fast Times? You didn't like Fast Times. I thought it was
You
your
gave
least
it to
favorite.
him.
No, I gave it to you.
Okay, I'll talk
I
about
said
it.
it's your favorite movie.
Formerly my favorite movie
He gets
of all
the two
time.
that were his favorites.
The artist formerly known as Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
We'll come back to Fast Times.
Okay, Wes is not one to like John Hughes movies. So I was
Yeah,
surprised
given
to
that I've
see
only seen two.
his favorite movie of the night was Ferris Bueller, which I thought he would hate because it seems like the type of thing that Wes is like, this is stupid. I don't like this. And shockingly, he
It
did
was
like
stupid,
it.
and I did like it.
Talk about this movie.
It's funny.
So this guy wearing an Aerosmith jersey. What happened?
How you spell bestiality?
Uh-oh, Wesley. Wesley skipped school today.
What
That's
a
his
dog.
That's his French teacher. Wait, did she just roll you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, buddy.
I told him that I had to do this.
Speaking of skipping school, let's talk about Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
So,
Exactly.
this kid named Ferris Bueller skips school because
That's legit.
he doesn't want to go. Wacky
I've
hijinks
seen a lot of similarities.
Wacky
It's
hijinks
funny.
ensues.
Does that mean that I'm Cameron?
Yes, you're f***ing Cameron.
You're an asshole.
Wait,
So-
do the voice. Do the voice.
Mr. Rooney,
No.
you're an asshole. I don't know.
I'm
I
yelling,
tried.
I'm yelling.
Pardon my French.
I'm going. Wes, what did you like about what made Ferris Bueller appeal to you when generally you dislike comedies?
It was so stupid funny. Like, it didn't try to be like you knew it wasn't realistic, and it felt just like College Humor shorts put together.
That is true. It's very much the type of comedy where we're gonna do a thing, conflict arises. Look, the dad's right outside the restaurant. How are we gonna avoid this? Now we're in a parade. How are we gonna get Cameron to not be depressed? Oh, he's depressed and he's now asleep.
Look at this girlfriend naked.
Yeah. What makes it better than you've seen Breakfast Club?
Yes.
Why do you dislike Breakfast Club then?
It's-
Which is also a teen movie, so we can
It's
briefly mention
stupid.
that. So I guess we'll talk about a different movie now. Let's talk about American Graffiti, which is a movie by George Lucas.
I liked Harrison Ford's cameo.
That was very good.
Cameo, he was a character.
Speaking of Nicolas
Cameo.
Cage,
No. So American Graffiti is a movie about, it's a very specific time period that existed for only like a couple years of these people who would hit the town and just drive in circles around the town basically. And it's a very nice image of an America that no longer exists. Like you said, that Dazed and Confused was a nice little, this is the way it was. George Lucas made a This Is the Way It Was.
George Lopez did not make this movie.
I did not say.
It was Mario Lopez. Get it right.
It has a wonderful, I love Richard Dreyfuss. He plays the main character, and he spends his whole night looking for this girl.
Is there a main character? Is there really?
I'd argue he's the one that ties
Ron
it all
Howard's
together.
a verge.
Ron Howard is in this movie. He's this redhead kid. He is not a verge.
He is not a verge.
But Richard Dreyfuss spends his whole night looking for this girl who he saw out of the corner of his eye. This guy who looks kind of like Ben Blackstone is driving around a little girl the whole night. We follow nerd character and the girlfriend he somehow made.
What a babe and bitch.
Richard Dreyfuss ends up in a
What
gang.
a babe and bitch.
Yeah, babe and bitch. These babe and... A lot of it is the atmosphere. It's got a very nice sort of aesthetic to it of all the shots of the cars driving along and everyone's having a great time. Like you said, Harrison Ford is in it for some reason. He does like a weird cowboy accent. He's like, well, hey, but now how about a race sometime? They do that.
They did do the race.
But speaking of
And what
racial
happened after-
tensions, Joey, would you like to do?
What? Of all the segues that we've done so far, Nick, what?
Also, there's no racism. They raced to see who could get that girl pregnant first in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Then she
Mike
races to the
Damone
clinic
wins.
to What is happening? Joey, do you want to talk about a movie?
So Juno is a movie with Ellen Page where she doesn't get an abortion.
No. Fast Times it wasn't awful. I did not. It was my least favorite thing we watched that night.
Ouch.
But I can't really say why. Like it
Because all the
lacked.
other ones were just better.
Yeah, the others all have like a consistent tone, right? Ferris Bueller is a wacky comedy. Dazed and Confused is like, kind of a bunch of chillin' dudes. American Graffiti, it's got all these intertwined little storylines happening in one night. It's actually very similar to
Magnolia.
Dazed and Confused.
Yes.
It's Dazed and Confused but with cars, I can't tell you what happened in Wet Hot American Summer. What's this movie called?
I can't either. I've never seen that movie.
Watch it.
Talk about Fast and Furious. Wait.
Talk about this.
Talk about Fast Times at...
Talk about Word Loop.
If my memory serves me, it came out in 1982. It starts on the first day of some of their, the little kids' freshman year and the older kids' senior year.
Wow, this sounds like Dazed and
Like
Confused.
the opposite of Dazed and Confused. Like this kid, Mike Ratner, nicknamed Rat because of his last name's Ratner, and it's the same.
And why didn't they call him Ner, huh? Also, Ratner's Jewish.
It's Mark Ratner, not Mike Ratner.
Mark Ratner's Jewish.
Yes, and he works at the movie theater.
And he looks very Jewish.
Okay. We get it.
Yeah, we'll
And
see.
the girl that Mark likes works at a pizza place, and her best friend also works at a pizza place. But hey, it's the same
That's
pizza
just
place.
a theory.
But hey, it's the same pizza place.
It's the same
and
pizza
sometimes
place.
I get them mixed up.
I got 2 pairs of khakis, one for slaughter, one for play, and sometimes I get them mixed up.
There's one pizza place, and sometimes I confuse it with its own self.
Jennifer Jason Leigh, so I wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Well, I
that's
got
a
the Jennifer
completely
part.
different
Who plays
person.
her mom?
Stacy's mom is got.
Nick, stop bringing up songs if you don't want to talk about.
I didn't say anything.
So
You said
Stacy's
Stacey's
mom
mom.
is a song that came out in 2003 by
said
Fountains
that.
of Wayne that basically outlines this guy's love for the mother of his
Wait, what are you
girlfriend,
talking about?
Stacy.
One of you two said this, and you're both trying to
said
pin
it?
this on
Who
Mike.
did it? Definitely Nick.
It
We'll let
wasn't
the
Nick.
footage show.
Yeah, who plays her mom?
Stacy's mom. Stacy's mom. Stacy's mom.
Stacy's mom.
Maybe it was Wade. I don't know.
So what happens next is he gets her phone number and they go out on a date, and he forgets his wallet, and he's like, "Oh, Mike Damone, I forgot my wallet. Can you bring it to me?" And he's like, "I'm really kind of busy here." Oh wait, before that, Mike Damone tells him that whenever they're trying to make out, put on side 2 of Led Zeppelin 4, and then it cuts to a scene of him listening to Kashmir, which first of all is
It's
not on
that.
it's not on
even
Led Zeppelin
that
4.
album.
Mike Damone comes over and he's like, "Oh, I found your wallet. I thought you might need it." And he's like, "Thank you." Oh, before that, while he's waiting for the wallet, he goes, "2 more Cokes, please."
Oh, does he?
Yeah,
You see, that has a lot of symbolism that he asked for 2, not 1, not 3,
but 2.
2 Cokes.
He drives her home and she invites him in and they start making out and he
They have sex. She has. A
no,
pregnant,
no, no, no,
and
no,
then
no,
Sean
no,
Penn
no,
is sitting there
no,
going
no,
like,
no, 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 no,
what,
no,
dude?
no, no,
I just
no,
showed
no,
up to
no,
class,
no,
and
no,
then
no, no,
she's
no,
like,
no,
"Oh,
no,
I'm
no,
gonna
no,
get
no,
rid of it.
no, no,
I'm not gonna
no,
have
no,
this
no,
child."
no, no,
There's
no,
something
no,
happens at a
no,
swimming pool
no,
for
no,
some
no,
reason.
no, no,
Lady
no,
has her
no,
tits
no,
out.
no, no,
She gets an
no.
abortion.
Okay,
and
that
then
part
the
was
movie
pretty
ends.
good.
This movie.
Oh, so it is
Why are
rapey,
you-
statutory. She does go for Mike Damone, and he is into it.
Oh, does he?
Man,
moan?
is this guy a sleazebag?
He
I don't know.
demones.
Does
He demones, and they
I
have
didn't ask for your opinion, Wade.
they have consensual sexual intercourse.
Consensual.
Consensual intercourse.
Contextual?
Nope. It
Conceptual.
didn't make any sense.
It is
I guess it is
conceptual.
conceptual, yeah. It's hypothetically
Speaking of conceptual, she gets pregnant. So she gets pregnant and she asks for half the abortion money, and he doesn't deliver. And
Ooh, and she doesn't deliver either.
Holy shit. Wade, did you hear that?
Yes.
Wes, that was perfect delivery on that joke.
unlike the baby.
Yeah.
And then they get in a fight, Rat and Mike, and they're like duking it out. Actually, do they actually fight? I don't remember. But they make up. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Sean Penn is the surfer dude who's like doesn't like
Let's
school.
go back to the
And
beginning of the movie with Sean
Yeah,
Penn.
he rebels against Mr. Hand,
It
man.
never ends.
And then at the end of the movie, he
The poem is gonna be longer than the movie, Joey.
he reconciles with Mr. Hand and actually learns this stuff. And they go to the dance together, and his band plays. and
Wait,
it's
he goes to the dance
sick.
with Mr. Hand? Sean
and
Penn?
It was
and
very progressive.
The band between Mr. Hand and Sean Penn
Yes.
plays.
Okay.
We had to switch cameras because one of them died because Joey spent 7,000 hours talking about fast times, more like slow.
More like I'm talking fast.
Why? Okay, then tell us, Joey, why do you not like it anymore?
I still like it. I think Dazed and Confused is better because it actually has a message, and I don't think Fast Times at Ridgemont High does.
You know, that's a good point.
Yeah.
The thing that separates all these movies is that Dazed and Confused has a message. American Graffiti has a message, right? So if you're gonna go full like, this is the life of a teen in high school, it lacks that message. If you're gonna go full comedy, it's not funny. If you're writing a comedy, notice that Sloane and Ferris Bueller does not get pregnant, and they're like, "Ooh, was it Cameron?
Yeah, 'cause
was
it
it
was-
Ferris? Give me the money so I can kill my child."
It was a mix.
You know?
Fast Times at Ridgemont High was much more.
What?
real. It was a mix of the good times.
Are we just ignoring what he just said?
So Fast Times at Ridgemont High was a mix of the good times, the bad times, and the fast times.
That's also a Led Zeppelin song. It was a good time.
Good times, bad times, you know, I've had my share. Led Zeppelin is a great band.
Yeah.
You guys want to hear my top 10 Led Zeppelin songs?
No, but I would like to hear some
Okay,
other
so this
teen
is more
movies
important.
you like.
Okay, another teen movie that I thought was decent.
Is Kashmir.
My favorite Led Zeppelin song is actually Going to California.
I like Black Dog.
That's a good one too. Led Zeppelin 4.
Yeah.
So Everybody Wants Some. It's basically Dazed and Confused Part 2, but in 1980s, or the first 3 days before college starts. It's like Dazed and Confused, but the scenes are kind of like dragged out, like way too long. And I also think it's really cheesy because he's like, I'm in the baseball frat, but I like girls and I like music and I'm I'm deep.
Speaking of things, 16 Candles is a fine movie.
Cool.
It's better than Breakfast Club. It's not as good as Ferris Bueller. Pretty in Pink is fine.
Pretty in Pink.
Video Game High School is the best teen movie.
Super bad. Which came out in
It's
2000.
actually super good.
It's about these two kids that are going off to college, and it's just like their night about trying to finally lose their virginity.
So it's American Pie.
Kind of.
Have you seen American Pie?
No.
Nick, stop bringing up songs, dude.
She's
Shut
my
up.
American Pie.
She's my number pie.
3.14159.
What about
It's my
Scott
senior year. I
Pilgrim?
just want to have fun.
Does Scott
Oh, that
Pilgrim
one-
count?
I
Because
don't
Scott Pilgrim is wonderful.
Okay, well,
It was a
once
good
we start
movie.
getting into like superhero movies, then we're just gonna like Chronicle and like
Chronicle
Harry,
is a teen movie.
like Harry Potter.
Harry Potter
The
is a
Maze-
teen
The
movie.
Maze Runner.
What's the
It's like-
limit on what is a teen movie? Stand By Me, they aren't teenagers.
Ooh.
But
That was also
you can
a
also
movie.
argue American Graffiti is not in high school.
Well,
'Cause
they
it's
just
summer.
graduated, right?
So does it have to be that school is an aspect of it?
I think it's just.
That's one of the things.
It's
but
not
not
necessarily-
necessarily because like,
It's not teen movies per
like
se.
Harry Potter
it's,
has a school. but
it's
that's-
coming of age movies.
I'd argue that the sixth
Slice of
Harry
life.
Potter
We're not
is
talking
very
about Harry
much
Potter.
is very much
Okay, I haven't seen any of the Harry Potters.
really.
Well, actually, I have seen all of them. But I don't remember.
I haven't seen any of the Harry Potters. Well, actually, I've seen all of them, but
I don't remember any of them.
You guys know that in Scott Pilgrim, there's only one character that's a teenager. They're all like in their 20s.
Really?
is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, I
know
guess
that.
you're right. Yeah.
Oh, isn't his girlfriend in high school?
Yeah.
That was weird. Statutory.
Wait, we've almost forgotten the trifecta of girl teen movies. Which
Mean
is
Girls.
Mean Girls, Heathers, and Clueless.
I've seen Mean Girls.
Is it good?
Loser.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are there any bad teen movies?
All the other ones.
Boyhood.
Just bleep out what I'm about to say.
Let's
Yeah.
rank.
Just like add it in though, because it'll be funny. 17 is a in our last couple. And it's gonna in June, maybe.
It'll come out eventually.
Yeah, the same with the Dawn of the Dead was supposed to come out.
That's all we have time for on this episode.
And that's all we have time for today.
If you like this episode,
And
of
if you
Pwn,
like this episode of Pwn,
go ahead and
go
click
ahead
that
and
subscribe.
click that subscribe.
And also,
And also,
maybe like
no
no one ever does.
No one
but
ever
you
does.
can too.
But you can too.
And now we're sponsored by
Sour Patch Kids.
They're great, and their kids.
And
What's
they're
the
sour
code?
and they're patch.
Statutory.
I love eating out kids. I mean
Statutory.
eating kids. I mean eating gummy kids.
I mean eating
I
kids.
mean candy.
That's all we have.
And that's
time
all
for.
we have
White
time for
man.
today.
If you like this episode, what's in the next episode? No,
Ari.
not yet, because right up here,
Thank God Ari's coming back.
here's our favorite comment from the last episode. If you like this episode, here's our favorite comment. And what's happening next week? I've already asked. Are you ready, Joey?
The No Movies.
We're doing the outro.
This is the outro. On 3, 5, 4, 3.
Oh.
Yeah.